Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all of you in our YouTube channel Gurmantra Siksha Kagranth. I hope every one of you are fine and safe and preparing very well for your exams. I'm your educator Saranya. So today we are going to deal with topic antibody, its structure, its functions, types of antibodies, everything related to antibodies we are going to cover in this lecture. Okay? Okay, so an antibody is also known as a immunoglobulin. Okay, antibody is also known as immunoglobulin. Its structure is Y in shape. Okay, its structure is Y in shape and it has four polypeptides. It has two heavy chains and two light chains. Okay, four polypeptides will be present in antibody, two heavy chains and two light chains will be present. This structure allows the antibody molecules to carry out their dual function. One is antigen binding, the second one is biological activity mediation. Okay, each function is carried out by different part of the antibody. Like fragment of antigen binding is a part that is called as Fab region, and the other region is fragment of crystallizable, which is called as FC region. Okay. The Fab fragment is a region on an antibody that will bind to the antigen. So antigen will be binding to the antibody at Fab region. Okay, Fab means fragment of antigen binding. From the name itself, its work has been explained. It is composed of one constant region, one variable domain of each of the heavy and the light chain. These domain shapes the paratope. Okay, the antigen binding site is called as paratope. Very important. Note this point. The antigen binding site is called as paratope at the amino terminal end of the monomer. Okay. So FC region is the tail region of the antibody that will interact with the cell surface receptors called as FC receptors. Okay. So the bottom region of an antibody is called as Fc region that will be interacting with the cell surface receptors called as Fc receptors and some proteins of the complement system. So this property will allow the antibodies to activate the immune system. Don't worry about the structure. We will see the structure in detail. These are just an introduction. Okay, so antibody is also known as immunoglobulin. It is Y-shaped protein. It is produced by our immune system when pathogens are detected, antigens are detected, this will be produced. The production of antibody is a major function of our immune system. Okay. And this is done by our B cells. B lymphocytes are responsible for the production of antibodies. So differentiated B cells are called as plasma cells. So after differentiation, they become a plasma cell and plasma cell will be producing a single type of antibody. The produced antibody will bind to the specific antigen and it will destroy it. Okay, you can see here this is the B cell. This will be differentiating into plasma cell and the plasma cell has the ability to produce the antibodies and the antibodies can interact with the external factors like cancer cell or it can be a antigen, a pathogen and neutralize it. So there are four polypeptide chains, two heavy chains are there and two light chains are there, okay, which are connected with each other using disulfide bond, okay. Light chain will have polypeptides of about 22,000 Dalton. You should know this, very important. Light chain is 22 kilodalton. You can say it as 22,000 Dalton or 22 kilodalton. The heavy chain will be 50 kilodalton. Okay, remember this important point. So when I say something as important point, please note it down because that point has been asked in question before. Okay. So there are five types of Ig heavy chains. So which means there are five types of immunoglobulins in mammals. Okay. And they are represented by Greek letters. You can see here alpha, delta, epsilon, mu and gamma. Okay, so there are two types of immunoglobulin light chain. Light chain are of two types. Okay, one is lambda, the other one is kappa. Okay, lambda and kappa. An antibody is made up of variable region and a constant region. And the region that changes to various structures depending upon differences in antigen is called as variable region. The name itself says variable region because its function changes based on its function and the structure changes depending upon the type of antigen. And the region that has a constant structure is called as constant region. The function of the region is in its name itself. Variable region varies depending upon the antigen. Constant region is always constant. So you can see this beautiful structure of a antibody. Okay. So this is the Fab region, also called as fragment of antigen binding. This is the Fab region. Okay, and this is the FC region. FC region. Okay. You can see here variable chain here, variable region is here, variable region on top. After that you have constant region throughout. So on top near the antigen binding region you have variable region. That is why based on different antigen the variable region also changes. So you have variable region on top here, and after that you have three constant region. Okay, three constant region you have, and this pink color you can see here, this is the light chain and the blue color is the heavy chain. Blue color region is the heavy chain. That's why variable heavy chain, constant heavy chain 1, constant heavy chain 2, constant heavy chain 3. Variable light chain, constant light chain. Okay. So this is the variable region and this is the constant region, all of it. The blue color region is the heavy chain and the pink color region here is the light chain. Okay, and these two are connected with each other using disulfide bond. You can see here disulfide bond is connecting all of this structure and forms a Y-shaped structure. Okay, that is disulfide bond. So this is another diagram of a antibody. So this is the fragment of antigen binding location which is variable in nature. Then this is the hinge region. This is constant domains. These are all constant domains. And this is the FC region. The tail is called as basically FC region. So this is the structure of your antibody. You can see there are so many different types of disulfide bonds in different regions. You have disulfide bond in the hinge region. You have disulfide bond that is connecting the heavy chain and the light chain. Disulfide bond in between the variable light chain and variable heavy chain itself. So there are so many disulfide bond present in the antibody structure. So that is what is stabilizing the antibody. So this is another diagram of antibody. Okay. So everything is same. Okay. So this region is called as antigen binding region or Fab. Okay. So up to this region you can see here this region is Fab and the tail region is FC. Okay. But this tip is called as variable region, and variable region, okay, this tip is called as variable region or hypervariable region because this is the position where antigen will come and bind. Okay. Okay, and this long structure is the heavy chain and this small two short arms here is the light chain. Okay, it can be sometimes represented inside or outside, but remember the long arm is the heavy chain. Okay. So this is light chain hypervariable region. This is heavy chain hypervariable region. The variable region by name itself says depends upon the different types of antigen. These yellow color are the disulfide bond. Wherever you find the yellow color dashes, they are the disulfide bond. Okay. And this is the hinge region. This is the hinge region. Okay. And this one is variable. And after that everything is constant. One variable, three constant. one variable, one constant. Okay. For heavy chain, you have one variable, three constant region, and for light chain, you'll have one variable and one constant region. Okay. And these are the complement binding regions. These are the complement binding regions. FC region will be binding to complement. Okay. And there are some cleavage site mentioned in this picture. You have to note that because that might be asked in questions for you. So this is the peptide cleavage site. This is the peptide cleavage site. So it will be cleaving here at this location. Peptide cleavage site. Next is your, okay, you got it here, right? Peptide cleavage site. This is your peptide cleavage site. So you will get the upper part fab region and FC region separately. You will get two fab regions, this one and one FC region when peptide cleavage happens. Okay, this is an extra information, but about the cleavage and all we will definitely study, like about different enzyme and how they cleave. All that we will study. But for now, about this antibody structure, it's just an extra information for you. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the classes and types of antibody. We saw the structure of antibody. I showed you different diagrams so that the concept is very clear for you and the parts are so clear that it forms an image in your brain itself. Okay, so there are basically five classes of immunoglobulins or antibodies. Okay, that is IgG, IgM, IgA, IgE, IgD. Okay, so you can simply remember it as like GADME, GADME, GADME or GAMED, 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 anything you want. Okay, so any analogy is fine as long as you can remember it. Okay, so I used to remember it like GADME, GADME. You know, G for gamma, M for mu, A for alpha, E for epsilon, D for delta. Okay, so all of these are different from each other only due to the heavy chain. All of them are different at their heavy chain. Other than that, they will be same. Heavy chain difference will be there. Okay, they are distinguished by the type of heavy chain they contain. Okay, IgG antibody structure and function we are going to see. So you have immunoglobulin G antibodies. Okay, immunoglobulin G antibodies. Okay, they are large globular proteins. Okay, they are large and globular proteins and their molecular weight is 150 kilodalton and they are made up of four polypeptide chains. It also contains two identical gamma heavy chains which is like 50 kilodalton and two identical light chains which is 25 kilodalton. Okay. So IgG provides long-term protection because it will be there in our body for months and years after the antigen has left the body also. Okay, so the antigen has come into our body and caused the immune response and antibodies are produced. Okay, the antigen will be eliminated from the body. But even after that, for months to years, IgG will be present in our body to provide long-term protection. So IgG is involved in long-term protection. Okay, IgG also protects us from bacteria, viruses, bacterial toxins, and it can also trigger the complement protein system. Okay, and also helpful in phagocytosis. Okay. Next is your IgM antibody. IgM is also called as immunoglobulin M and it is a pentameric structure which means it will have 5 subunits of IgM. Okay, 5 subunits of IgM. It has pentameric structure. Okay, and it consists of two heavy chains mu. Heavy chains mu means M and two light chains as usual and all of these subunits pentamers are bound with each other using J chain. J chain is the link between the monomers. Okay, you have five pentamers. I mean, you have pentamers, which means five monomeric units you will have. So between them, the link is using the disulfide bond, and that is called as J chain. Okay, IgM is involved in ABO blood group antigens on the surface of RBC. IgM enhances ingestion of cells by phagocytosis. Okay. Next is IgA. IgA antibody is alpha. Okay. It is alpha. The main function of the IgA is to bind to the antigen on the microbes before they even invade into our tissues. Okay, so this will form an aggregate of the antigens and keep them in the secretions. Secretions means it can be mucus, it can be tears, and it will be pulled away. The antigens will be expelled through our body, from our body by the excretions. Okay, so IgA is also the first defense for mucosal surfaces such as intestines, nose and lungs. Okay, so in the mucosal regions, IgA will be present. And by the way, IgA is a dimer. Okay, it's a dimer. Next is IgE. IgE antibody is also found in the mammals only. It contains epsilon. Okay, epsilon is for E. And it will bind to the mast cells and basophils and participate in the immune reaction, and this can also cause allergic reaction and very effective against the parasites and all. Okay. Next is IgD. IgD is for delta. Okay. So what this will do is that is expressed in the plasma membrane of immature B lymphocytes. It will be present in the B cells. It is also produced in the secreted form in the blood also, and its function is for induction of antibody production. It will induce more antibody production. Okay. So you can see here different structures of antibodies given. Okay, this is the structure of IgG, which is the monomer. IgA is a dimer. You can see here one antibody is present, here another antibody is present, which are linked with each other using a J chain. Okay, J chain. So IgA is also called a secretory antibody. It is a dimer. This is IgD. Okay, this is IgE. IgM is a pentamer. IgM is a pentamer which is linked using J chain. Okay. You have to remember two things in this. One is IgM is pentamer and IgA is dimer, and it is also secretory. Okay. So what is the function of antibody now? Now we saw structure of antibody, types of antibody also we discussed. Now we are going to discuss the functions of antibody. So IgG provides long-term protection. Okay, IgG is the antibody that will be providing us with long-term protection because it will be persisting in our body for days, not only for days but for months and years after the antigen has triggered the immune response. Okay, IgG will protect against the bacteria, viruses, and toxins, and it will also trigger the complement system and effective for the phagocytosis. The main function of IgA, okay, A means alpha, is that it will bind to the antigens on the microbe and they will prevent the microorganism to invading the tissue. Also, it will help the antigens to be expelled through the secretions. Okay, so IgA is secretory antibody. IgA are also first defense. Okay, first line defense mechanism IgA is involved, and it will be present in the mucosal surfaces. Wherever in our body mucosa is present, it will be present because it is secretory. IgM is involved in the ABO blood group. IgM means mu. Okay, IgM is also helpful in phagocytosis. IgE is for participation in immune response, like it can cause hypersensitivity reaction. Okay, IgE, what happens? It will bind to the basophils, okay, and eosinophils, and it will cause degranulation. So degranulation means granules will be released from the cell, and that can cause hypersensitivity reaction, allergic reaction. And Ig is very much useful in preventing or killing the parasites. IgD, okay, it will also be present on the surface of B cell and helps in the production of more antibodies. You can see here the 5 immunoglobulin classes and their differences. Okay, all the differences is given in this tabular column. IgM is a pentamer, you should know, and the heavy chain is mu. Okay, number of antigen binding site. Okay, this can be asked as a question. How many antigen binding sites are present in a antibody? Okay, let's say a monomer. You always consider a monomer. A monomer will have two antigen binding site. One is this one, the other one is this one. Okay, so IgM is a pentamer. So how many antigen binding region will be there? So it will have 10 antigen binding region. Okay, so one antibody will have two antigen binding region, and since IgM is a pentamer, it will have 5 into 2, 10 antigen binding region. Molecular weight is 9 lakh, okay, Daltons, 9 lakh Daltons. Then a percentage of total antibody in the serum is 6%. It can cross placenta? No, it cannot cross the placenta. This can be asked as a question. Which immunoglobulin can cross the placenta? And your answer is IgG. Only IgG can cross the placenta. And complement fixation, yes, this is involved. This does not bind to the FC, and its main function is antibody of the primary response, best at fixing complement. Monomer form of IgM serves as a B cell receptor. Okay, IgM is also existing in monomeric form, that will be like a receptor. Okay, that will be present on the B cell receptor. Okay, so this is a master slide. From this slide, they can ask you so many questions. So if you want, you can write it down or take a screenshot and learn. Okay. Next is IgG. G is gamma. Okay. And it has two antigen binding region. Its molecular weight is 150 kilodalton. Then it is present in 80%. So IgG is present mostly. Mostly IgG is only present in our body. 80%. That can be asked as a question. And only this IgG can cross the placenta. It can fix the complement. It helps in phagocytosis. And main function will be like blood antibody of the secondary responses, and will neutralize the toxin and opsonization. Okay. Next is IgA alpha. It is a dimer. Dimer means it has two subunits. I mean two monomers. Okay, two monomers will be there. You can see here they are linked with each other using the J chain. Okay. So since it has two regions, which means dimer, so it will have four antigen binding region. 2 into 2, 4. Okay, it is 385 kilodalton, and 13 percentage it is present in our body. It cannot cross the placenta. No complement fixation. So complement can be fixed by only IgM and IgG. Okay, and it is present in secretions, secreted into mucus, tears, saliva, colostrum, like that. Next is you have IgE. IgE is epsilon. It has two antigen binding sites, 200 kilodalton weight. It is very less in our body. IgE amount will be very less in our body. It's 0.002%. But if Ig amount is more in your body, which means you have infection in your body. No complement fixation. It can interact with the mast cells and basophils and helps in antiparasitic activity. Next you have IgD. B for delta, two antigen binding region, 180 kilodalton. It will be like 1% in our body. It does not like. Next is it helps in B cell. It's a B cell receptor. That's it. Okay. So from this slide, from this master slide, what are the possible questions they can ask you? Okay, how many antigen binding sites are present for IgM? That is one question. How many antigen binding site present for IgA? That can be a question. Okay, and for any of the other immunoglobulins. Next, they will not ask you molecular weight and all. Definitely they'll not ask you, but they'll ask you percentage. Which antibody is present in highest amount in the body? That is IgM. After that, that is IgG. IgG is the highest percentage present in our body, that is 80%. After that comes the IgM, which is only 6%, and the least, no, after that is IgA. Okay, so IgG is the most. They will not ask you the decreasing order or increasing order, but they'll definitely ask you which one is the most prevalent, that is IgG. Next is the least is IgE. Okay, and which antibody can cross the placenta, that is also IgG only. Which antibodies can fix the complement, IgG and IgM. So that's all you have to know. This is the master slide. Take a screenshot of it, learn from this. This is another diagram, same like that only. You can see here IgG, okay. IgM is a pentamer, IgA dimer, IgE and IgD, okay. So number of antigen binding sites we have already saw, percentage, fixing, complementation, everything we saw in the previous slide itself, okay. I just wanted to give you this slide. So these are the references from where I took the pictures. Okay, I hope today's class on antibody, we learnt about antibody structure. We learnt about the classes of antibodies, that is 5 classes of antibodies, GADME, okay, gamma, alpha, delta, mu and epsilon, and about their structures, their function, everything we learned, okay, and the function of antibodies also we learned. And in a tabular column we saw the differences of all the antibodies and some of the important points which can be asked as a question in your exam. That also we have discussed in today's class. I hope you enjoyed the class today. In the comment section please let me know your experience about this class, okay. And if you are a CSIR net aspirant and are interested in getting an academy detailed paid class subscription for CSIR UGC net, you can do that, okay. So these are the prices, for like 6 months, 12 months. And if you want to get 10% off, you can use the code Neha code you can use for getting 10% off. After joining or getting the subscription for an academy, you can follow the educator Neha Taneja. So ma'am will be dealing with so many units and she will make sure all of your portions will be completed with time, and practice course, revision course, everything will be done for you. Okay, so what is the advantage of taking an academy? You'll get daily live classes, you'll get structured courses, unlimited access will be there, live tests and quizzes will be there. So it's like a complete package for your CSIR preparation. You can prepare everything well, and also sometimes in academy they do teach you for DBT and GATE also, like classes, like practice sessions, all of that will be taught for you. So you can definitely take a subscription for detailed paid courses. You will get not only just for CHIR but for several other examinations. I hope you enjoyed the class today. Like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. You can join our Telegram channel for getting updates regularly. We'll be posting updates about the classes, about the quizzes, everything will be going on. And you can also join our Facebook page Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. And if you want, you can visit our website www.gurmantra.in. If you have any further queries, you can mail us to tanejanehaofficial@gmail.com, and you can contact us on 935128000.